Good morning and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jennifer and I love to make sewing videos. For this video, I plan to make a blue linen dress, which I'm really excited about. And the pattern that I'll be using is Advance 6725. This pattern is really beautiful. It features a gathered bust, a princess seam bodice, and a full circle skirt. This pattern also has a wide collar. It kind of reminds me of a sailor collar, so I was thinking of maybe adding a white trim to play into that. This is the fabric that I will be sewing with. It's 100% linen and I got it from the Linen Fabric House on Etsy. And I just can't wait to make this dress. I make a lot of dresses out of linen because the weather here is really humid and it gets hot. And so on that note, now it's time to show you the mock-up. So here is the mock-up and it fits pretty well. I did not do one of the sleeves because I didn't want to, but I did this one. But this collar is so exaggerated. I love it. And I can just tell that this skirt is gonna be very fluttery and flowy. But yeah, I don't think I have any alterations to do. So with that being said, maybe I should wait. Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and iron this fabric next. So we have a heck ton of fabric right here. I have about 4.5 yards and we're just gonna iron all of it. Also, another tip is that you should iron on the wrong side of a dark linen fabric. I read this on my vintage sewing book. It makes sense too because you could add streaks on it, which you don't want. So that's why you do it on the wrong side. Before I jump into ironing, I'm gonna put on a record. You know what, I'm just gonna go with Tchaikovsky because it's right here and I don't need to bend down. This music is very intense and kind of loud at times, so I might have to put it down a bit. Here I'm sewing a stay stitch and serging all the edges to prevent fraying. Good morning, it's day 2 of sewing and yesterday I received the interfacing. This is 100% cotton. I haven't worked with this before, but here I am. I'm gonna do it on my dress and hope it comes out good. And I'm also thinking about interfacing the facing pieces on the dress itself because it could add more body and structure. I haven't done this before and no one has commented suggesting that I do it. So I'm like, does anyone else out there interface their facings or not? I don't think it's necessary, but it could help. So I'm trying it. I just started getting curious. I'm like, wait a minute, because these vintage patterns do not tell you sometimes the steps you should be doing that could help with the quality of the garment. But yeah, I'm gonna do it and see how it comes out. First, I press the interfacing onto the collar and facing pieces. Then I sewed the center front, the back darts, the back center seam, and the arm straps right sides together. Following that, I pressed the seams open and the back darts towards the center. Next, I sewed the collar right sides together and turned it inside out, finishing it off with a good press. Good morning, it's day 3 of sewing and yesterday I had finished attaching the twill tape with some pins and then I set the collar on the mannequin. But then I started to look at it throughout the day and I was like, wait a minute, I don't like it anymore. And so what I did here was take off about 4 inches on the sides and I also rounded out the front here. I don't know if I still like this collar anymore. I'm debating of even adding it on, but it happens. Sometimes you start to hate something. But not all is lost. I still have the dress here to make, and if this collar doesn't work out, I can wear the dress. But what I'm gonna do now is finish the collar through and see what it looks like. I'm gonna put on some ABBA this morning to listen to as I sew. Let's do it. Here's the collar. It looks way better now, I think. I mean, it still looks a little funky, but before, it was just way too big. It was out here and I looked like a space commander or something. It wasn't my vibe. What I'm gonna do now is sew on the twill tape and then I can work on the dress. Good morning, It's day 4 of sewing, I think. I kind of lost count over here, but I finally finished the collar and here it is. I did the facing here because I want to attach it to the dress's facing using snaps. Now I can move on to sewing the dress together. I just have the top of the bodice right here, but I'm gonna work on these skirt pieces and then attaching the zipper, so let's do it. Here I'm sewing the facing to the dress right sides together. Then I trimmed the excess seam allowance off, and here I sewed an understitch so that the facing doesn't stick out. After that, I pressed the neckline down and hand sewed the facing to the seam allowance. So I am slowly running out of thread. I only have one spool left and I know I'm going to hand sew the hem and everything. So what I'm gonna do is go to Blue Armadillo Sewing Company and find more blue thread. So let's go out and thread shop. No fabric shopping because I can't afford it, but I'll just look at the pretty fabric from afar. But let's go. When I got back home, I sewed the skirt panels right sides together. Then I attached the bias binding to the sleeve's hem, and I eased the sleeve into the armhole. And am I the only one that uses like 100 pins to ease in a sleeve? I don't know, it helps me, but it is a little too much. But lastly, I finished the hem with a slip stitch. Good morning, it's day 5 of sewing, and here I have the dress. This is how far I've gotten, and I have yet to attach the top portion of the dress to the skirt pieces. So what I'm going to be doing right now is sewing a basting stitch to temporarily attach the two and see if it fits me. And if it does, then I can secure it down with that 2.5mm stitch. Anyways, with all of that being said, now I'm going to go ahead and start sewing. Here I'm gathering the bust and then sewing the bodice to the skirt right sides together. Then I attach this metal zipper using a zipper placket method. I've used this method before on my yellow IKEA bedsheet dress. Ay, hello, princess. Okay, there's pins right here. You gotta be careful. Why do you do like a whole tuck and roll? She just wants me to pet her belly. Alright, I'm going. It's getting close to her walk time. But right now I'm just pinning where I want to cut. Bless you. Alright. Anyways, like I was saying, I'm pinning where I'm gonna cut off the dress here. And yeah, I would love to have one of those things where you can just like squeeze the powder around. But I don't know. I always kind of put off purchases like that. Maybe someday. Thank you, Zoey. This was handmade by me and my assistant. Just gonna do this for the rest of the afternoon. I will hopefully get it ironed in place and then I can hand sew for tomorrow. And then I sewed the hem of the skirt using a slip stitch. And I made sure to add my clothing label at the end. The last step was to attach the snaps to the facing of the collar and the facing of the dress. I did this and I filmed it on my phone because I was a little bit busy moving. After attaching that, the dress is finally done and now it's time for the reveal.
The way she walks, the way she talks, or the way she loves me. Just look at me, I'm like a monkey in a coconut tree. You know I'm overjoyed, 'cause boy, oh boy, she's my gal. She asks me when I say let's go out dancing. Your place or mine, don't waste my time with phone. Funny, doesn't care about clothes or money.
Hello there! We finally made it to the end of the video. Now it's time for the wrap-up portion. Before I get started, I did want to let you know that I recently moved. I moved in with my family while I'm going to nursing school full-time, and I'm really grateful that I have a place to live. And on that note, now it's time to talk about the dress. So for the dress, I think it came out really beautiful. I love this color too. It's really adorable. It reminds me of Robin and Steve working at Scoops Ahoy, but it's okay because they're my favorite characters in Stranger Things. But yeah, I look a little bit goofy, but fear not, I can always take the collar off because it's detachable. And so I'm really happy that this dress has that versatility that it offers. I can just change the look. It's still really hot here in Texas. We just celebrated Christmas and it was 80 degrees. We were wearing t-shirts and shorts outside, so yeah, it's definitely not your regular winter weather, but this dress is gonna get a lot of use for that reason. And this morning I hanged out with my friends. We went to go get breakfast at the Gunther house, and that house had a lot of Christmas decorations still. Right now it's January 4th, but yeah, it was kind of funny. I'm like, hey, Christmas is back. So yeah, we're just looking at all the decorations. That gingerbread house was a mansion. It was not a house. It was so cute. I'm happy we went. And then we went to an antique store afterwards. We love antiquing. What's a girl to do on a beautiful morning, okay? But I had a lovely morning hanging out with them, and thanks to them I got some good shots of this dress. So yeah, shout out to them. And before I end this video, I wanted to let y'all know about the new video format that I'll be doing. And so for this channel, I think it would be much more sustainable if I don't edit as much and devote as much time to the voiceover and everything. If you watch my older videos, you'll know that I go through all the steps and it's more of an instructional process. I just can't keep up with that workload. I'm the only editor here. This is a one-woman show, and I'm also going to be entering nursing school full-time. I still want to share my sewing projects and share what I can, like some information here and there, but I just can't keep up with that workload. Also, YouTube does not pay a livable wage. If anything, I pay to show up here. And so with those variables, like I'm sorry that I'm doing that change, and it can be frustrating, but I'm sure you would understand, like, it's just not a great fit right now in my life. But what I'll still be doing is sharing my sewing projects and like an overview of what happened during that process. But yeah, I think this will be a great step for this channel and make it more sustainable for me to keep up with. But I appreciate y'all so much for sticking around and watching the end of this video. I hope you have a beautiful day and a happy new year. But I'll see you on the next one. Bye!